What up, party people? I am Erika. Welcome to my channel, Exactly Erika. Today we are talking Seeking Sister Wives, season 5, episode 10, a deeper understanding or connection or whatever. We're talking the Merrifields family, Danielle, and Danielle is getting her payback on Natalia. I'll say that. We're going to talk about the Davises and then the Salahuddin. uh, I know I mispronounced that, but we're gonna get into all of the things, you guys. So get ready. Let's get into it.
I want a happy ending. Tired of pretending. Won't let them get the best of me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Give me a break. The game is survival. Give me a break and sing like a rival.
All right, you guys, let's get into it. This is gonna be quick because the new episode is coming out like probably as this is uploading. So let's start off with our favorite creepy couple, the Merrifields. Okay, so where we left off with them is Garrick and Danielle are in Brazil, or Garrick has been there for 6 weeks, getting it in with Natalia, having the time of his life, and really being free of Danielle. That's pretty much where we start this off. But Danielle flew down to Rio to be well, I don't think was she going to be in the wedding, but to actually be there for the wedding. But we found out at the end of the last episode that the judge decided to not allow them to be married because I guess he Googled and saw that they were on a Seeking Sister Wife show. So instead of trying to, spend additional money and time sort of protesting the judge's decision, they have decided to go to uh, to get the K1 visa, which is, as we all know, all of our TLC people, the 90-day fiance visa. So, anybody feel that there's a show crossover coming on, or is it just me? All right, so they decide to do that. So there's no wedding. So I know Danielle wanted to do a jig or a dance, but she held it in because she was so relieved that there was no wedding. Like she has more time to get rid of Natalia. So let me put a picture up right quick. Here we go. Let me hide that. Let me hide that so we can see it a little bit better. There we go. So here's the thing. Natalia, I love the way her facial expressions give you the most. Like she might say whatever, but she always gives Danielle the crazy eyes. So clearly she thought all along, I would say, that Danielle planned this, that it wasn't an accident or whatever. And of course, Natalia is sort of devastated that she and Garrick won't be getting married. She bought the dress, she had her makeup artist, her family, all these things, and she had to cancel like the day before. So that's totally devastating. So then Danny decides, okay, so even though I'm sure she has a doctor back at home, I'm sure she has an obstetrician back at home or gynecologist or whatever. But she's like, "Oh, okay, let's go see the baby." So I think she kind of just wants to make sure that Natalia knows, like, yeah, it's a thing. It's a real thing that you're gonna have to deal with. So they're going to the doctor's office, even though Natalia just got this devastating information. So she has to go to the doctor's office and pretend to be excited about the baby. So they head to the doctor's office, and there we see, Danielle is so happy. They see the baby for the first time, and Garrick seems happy. Let's see, do we have a picture of them? Now let me go back. So, they see the baby for the first time, and, Garrick is happy, and Natalia, she says she's happy, but she looks crazy the entire time. Like she's basically, you know, um, there's something going on underneath there. And I'm like, Danielle, girl, get you and your man and your baby back to the States and see. I'm not sure. We'll see how the season goes, but I feel like she is going to have to you know, cut Natalia loose because I don't think for some reason I don't think Natalia is really feeling Danielle. Like, I still don't think that. And I actually like Natalia. It would have been nice to see Natalia's mother and some more of her family. But what we do see in this episode is we get a chance to meet Natalia's friends. So her friends are young and cool and cute, and they kind of, you know, I guess they know a little bit more English, so they kind of act as a go-between. So Natalia explains to them how hard it was for her to go and see the baby and be excited at a time when she was so devastated. And then she also explains that she felt like Garrick didn't really spend time comforting her. And Garrick doesn't really say anything. He starts crying and stuff. And of course, Danielle, as we all know she will come to bat for Garrick. Be like, no, the other wife has to understand. Like, not everybody is going to be a doormat like you. And that's the thing I think that's interesting about their dynamic is that even though Natalia is so much younger, or not so much, but she's 10 years younger, I should say, at least of Danielle, she's more likely to stand up for her feelings when Garrick has hurt her, when she feels upset, when she feels betrayed. She puts her foot down, like, I'm not going to take this mess. Meanwhile, Danielle is almost like groveling to some extent for the affection. And, by now you all have seen in People Magazine and other things, I'll probably post some pictures on my wall, my community wall. But, you know, Danielle has had the baby. She had a little baby girl and she's totally adorable. But it's like, Danielle, now, maybe now that you have a daughter, you have to stand up for yourself as well, because basically you've had, like, my understanding, they're not back married. So you had this child out of wedlock. I hope she has an attorney who has paperwork and everything in case, you know, yeah, Garrett could go and hit the road. And I would hope that she has things in place that would take care of her and all of her children for sure. So one of the things we do see with Natalia's friends is they kind of act like mediators. They kind of explain to them sort of how Natalia's feeling. And Garrick, he kind of apologizes, but he's basically like, his biggest thing is the sister wives get together. Really, Garrick? Is that your biggest thing? Because we find out in this episode that he was trying to get Natalia pregnant since he's been there for 6 weeks. So basically, you've been hitting her raw for 6 weeks, but your biggest thing is to make sure she and Dannielle get together. Okay, right, Garrick. If you say so, if that's what you say. Um, but at the very end, Dannielle does express her concerns that Natalia hasn't been opening up to her. And, she wished that she would. And so at that moment, they have, let me pull it back up. Let's see. Let me pull it back up. Let's see. So let me hide you guys again so we can see it. I want it to be a little bit bigger. Don't take me all the way out. So at the end, they have a hug. Let's see. I want it to get a little bit bigger, you guys. Sorry. There we go. And, Natalia says she's okay. She feels better now. And they sort of have sort of a fake. Well, I'm not gonna say it's a fake hug. It's a real hug, but I feel like there's no real meeting of the minds, honestly. So then we come to at the end of the episode, or at least their section. It's Garrick's birthday, so he planned to spend his birthday in Rio, which is an amazing time, obviously. So they go out for his birthday. They kind of have a cheers. He sort of asks Danielle's permission to basically get it in with Nathalia one last time. And, so they're gonna get it in that night, and then the next day, they're off, they're back to the States, and they don't know if it's gonna be 6 weeks or 6 months for Natalia to go through the 90-day fiancé K-1 visa situation. So, I don't know, I'm halfway hoping that they do go on 90-day fiancé because 'cause it'll be so interesting to see what it's like for her in the States, because I feel like she wants to get here and get her best life on, or, you know, get her own, paycheck baby, who knows? But let me know what your thoughts are on the Merrifields this episode. All right, so let's move right along to the Davis family. Let me pull up their overlay. The Davis family. Okay, so here the Davises, the sister wives, Danielle, as we know, is back in the fold, and so they've decided that they think Danielle is ready, and so they go on a date with this young woman named Jasmine. So they go on this date with Jasmine, and Jasmine has all the right answers. She wears a neon green sort of yellow dress. She's kind of funky, she's cute, she's sexy, she has a great shape. She's all of the things, and she's very open now. I think she said she's never been in a polygamous relationship. So but she was open to it and she was interested in doing it. Then I think it was not Jennifer, or maybe it was Jennifer. Then one of the wives, or the first wife, I have to get everybody's name straight. Sorry. She asked her, "Okay, we all work, and basically he's a stay-at-home dad. How do you feel about basically you turn over your paycheck too?" And she says she feels great about it because her dad worked nights, but, shout out, her dad actually did work. But anyway, unlike Nick or whatever, but her dad worked nights, and her mom was really, I guess her mom made more, so her mom was really the breadwinner, and her dad was home with her as a child during the day. So she said she really, she felt for it. She's like, "Okay, cool," she's down with it. Danielle is very much like the husband Shane. Like, she's saying, "Oh yeah, okay, it's great," to people's faces, and then in the confessional, she has all of her doubts, okay? So she's like, "Oh, does she really think these things, or she's just giving us all the right answers?" So Danielle is still sort of a negative Nancy. Or, a doubting Danielle, that's what I'll call her. But they tell Nick about it. Nick is excited. Nick is ready to go on his date. And it looks like the next episode, or the episode that's airing tonight, will be Nick's date with Jasmine. But Jasmine sort of so far has won them over with sort of like, winning colors or whatever. They're really feeling her. And so, but Danielle, of course, still has her doubts. I still don't understand how everybody is, supporting this man, and he does, but he's a thinker. So that's what he's contributing. Now, what's interesting about Jasmine, and she brought up a really good point. She, I think, is excited by this. And one of the things that we do sort of learn in this episode is about the whole sense of community, and maybe, especially now with inflation and stuff, two incomes aren't really enough to sustain a household. And now, with all of these people coming together, you have other people to care for your child. Because Jasmine is like, I'm looking at this because I want stability for my son. So now she has other women to help with him. Like Danielle doesn't have any children, so she can kind of kick in. So, maybe the expense of being a single parent is tough. So I can see where she might see this as a working answer if she's having any sort of financial difficulties being the sole provider for her son. So we'll see how it goes on her date with Nick and if Danielle can really um go with the flow on this. So that is where we left it with the Davis family. And so the last family is the Salahuddin. Okay, someone let me know how you really pronounce their name because I'm horrible with their last name. So again, with them, their entire storyline has been because I don't even think we've seen them go on one date and they kind of didn't really like the girl. And I'm not sure what's going on with them because it seems like their entire storyline so far is just trying to get their mother to get on board with something and they not even really in a relationship yet. So I'm like, why does she have to really be all the way on board and you don't even have a person? So that being said, let me pull up their photo. That being said, they have a meeting with a friend of theirs. Her name is, I think it's Jahari, and she's in a polygamous relationship. Now, what I think is interesting about Jahari's relationship is that what's interesting about Jahari's relationship is that she is bisexual. So she is sleeping with the husband and with the wife. And to me, I think like to be fair, that's sort of, I don't know, the best way to go. I feel like everybody should be getting something out of the deal if at all possible. So I do think that's an interesting twist and maybe um the Sherwood family might think of that, the one where the wife is getting married or whatever, or wife is looking for someone. So she's bisexual, and so she's kind of there to sort of explain it to the mother. But the mother comes in guns blazing. At first, she's like, "Oh, if this was going to be, your person, I was just going to leave." So she like every scene we have with her is sort of similar. She comes in and she's really negative. She doesn't believe in it. She doesn't believe in it for her son, even though she was exposed to it since she was Muslim herself. And let's do a quick video and hear what she actually has to say.
We're having lunch with Jahari, and my mother-in-law has been extremely negative about our lifestyle choice. And now she's using our daughter as an excuse for why she doesn't like polygamy. And I felt like she needed to be called out on it. What you're speaking about my child is if you speak to her. But when's the last time you spoke to her?
Now she's being disrespectful.
We're gonna let it go.
You're allowing her to be disrespectful.
When is the last time you spoke to her?
Ma, don't do that. Don't do that.
That's the problem.
When is the last time you spoke to her?
I speak to her.
Never.
Naeem didn't step in and didn't say anything, but nobody's going to speak to me like that. Until you apologize,
I'm not.
So do you never
Ma,
going to
you know
talk
how
to me
many things you
again?
gotta apologize to her about?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Don't ever talk to me again.
I absolutely don't care.
Done. Done deal.
Wait, let's
Done,
get it. Hold
done.
on.
Done deal.
Okay, so one of the things, let me stop that before I get some sort of strike. But one of the things is she says, okay, the mother, Jamila, I think her name is, she says, you have a daughter, your daughter's 14. This isn't right to expose her to this. It's one thing if it's just the two of you, but you shouldn't do it for your daughter. And so the wife, she's like, no, you're just assuming that. I talked to my child, and we come to find out sort of in this segment that Jamila does not have a relationship, or they say she doesn't have a relationship with the granddaughter. We haven't really seen that. So, they're saying, oh, she just calls and says hi or talks to her for a few minutes. But be that as it may, she might have a valid opinion. Like, her opinion is her opinion. So I don't know why they are constantly sort of trying to get her to accept this. And Jahari, the friend, was like, well, maybe you all will just have two separate sort of scenarios. Like, your mother doesn't necessarily have to engage with, the other person. That would be a different relationship. And I think that's valid. Like, if she's already told you she's not down with it, then give her time. You all aren't even dating nobody. So I don't even see why we are going through this drama. But basically, that is kind of where the discussion really starts to go off the rails. Let's continue.
I don't want to talk anymore.
You walking out the door?
Yeah, I'm walking out the door.
Okay, that's what it's going to be.
I'll probably walk over there and smack you in your face if you keep
Ma'am,
on
and what you
talking
think
about
going to happen when you do it? I'm curious. What you think going to happen when you do it? Auntie, I'm trying to figure out what you think going to happen when you do it. What you think going to happen when you do it? What you think
taking off the jacket,
y'all?
y'all.
Do it. What you think going to happen? What you think going to happen?
We don't do that.
Where's security?
Come on,
put your crown on. We don't do
that
this.
crap together.
What are you doing, Mom?
This girl is disrespectful.
What are you doing?
But she's a mother, though, right?
What are you doing?
You ain't a mother.
This is
Mother,
Look
embarrassing.
at the poor server.
Come on
Mothers
now.
don't act like
Come
that.
on now.
Mothers don't act
Keep
like
it
that.
real.
We're not gonna do that.
What do you think going to happen?
Right, but we're not gonna do that.
Whip that bitch's ass.
Jamila may never accept this lifestyle, but my choices don't hinge on her accepting it.
Put your crown on, queen. We don't do this.
It is important to my husband that she is accepting of whomever he's with. It is not important to me. What's important to me is that he's happy.
Girl. So yes, you guys, the mother was about to throw down, and she was ready to really go toe to toe with so so we'll see what happens. I think the son, I understand that he wants her to get along and accept his lifestyle choices, but in all honesty, it's like, okay, you're not even seeing nobody yet. So, what's what do you guys want? What do you want to do? All right, you guys, if you're still there, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button so we can get these videos out. But yeah, so that's pretty much where we ended on this episode. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you can. We're doing yay. We're up to 200 subscribers. So thank you so much to all the new people and all the people who have been there from the beginning. So thank you so much. Please continue to like and comment, and let's get some engagement up, because I'm trying to get to 500 so I can really do some really good live streams as well, you guys. So that's it. Be true, be you, be great, and I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao for now, folks. Bye.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks.